Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video, I am finally getting around to discussing the Red Star situation after the FoxNext blog that came out a few days ago, Friday, right before the weekend. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of videos out there. Content creators put out some opinions, posts on Reddit. A lot of stuff. I'm kind of one of the last ones to kind of chime in, I guess, at this point. That's twofold. One, because I was really just digesting everything, thinking about it. Two, just real life. I had stuff going on and, with some other videos that I just wanted to make sure to get the content out, as well as just, I think I've mentioned before, I'm a husband and a father, so I gotta make sure those things are taken care of first. So anyway, so we had our two Red Star Orb blitzes, back to back, along with the Venom. And, Red Stars are, here to stay. You can tell, not that, and I don't mean to say that, oh man, Red Stars are here to stay. I don't have a problem with Red Stars staying, none at all. So, I don't want that tone to make it sound that way. I think that Red Stars can be a good addition to the game if properly implemented and kind of executed. And so I guess the first place to start is to go to the blog. So I'm going to jump off screen here or jump out of the game here for a second. And I don't want to go. This is the actually that's a different one. This is the blog. So you guys have probably all read it. I'm not going to read through this thing. There's a lot of other people who've gotten videos out there that have kind of covered this thing. I will hit some highlights on here. Originally, what I was planning to do is kind of what I do for work, and where it's just you go line by line and you analyze and you dissect and you come up with reverse arguments on those types of things. Honestly, at this point, I'm personally not necessarily interested in that, primarily because I'm not convinced it's going to make a difference. FoxNext, I think, has made it fairly clear where they stand on this, by kind of issuing this blog. So anyway, the first thing they tend to talk about here, and this is kind of how I'm going to analyze this, is Red Star power. And they talk about how power can be, maybe not as much as a factor if you understand who you're attacking with, or, synergies and all that kind of thing. And that's actually not just in this paragraph, but actually it's mentioned a little bit here where a maxed out, Fury shield team. There's a couple things I want to pull from this paragraph. Is one thing that I actually kind of liked here is that the Red Star system is a new way, blah, blah, blah. It's a new way to improve your characters and is fundamentally different than other methods that are currently in italics. And I think Tuna brought this up in his video as well, not possible to invest specifically. That leads one to believe that they might change it in the future. Who knows? I don't know. I could sit here and speculate. The one thing I will say is, if I had to speculate on this, I think that any specific ability we've got to give a certain character Red Star orbs, or not Red Star orbs, but Red Stars, that it's going to cost money. So, and that's FoxNext right, as the developer, and it's our right as a player to decide whether we want to buy that or not. So I was kind of given one, glimmer of hope as far as that concept goes, but it was quickly kind of overshadowed by my realization that any ability that I've got to do that is probably not going to be all that exciting or kind to the pocketbook. Somebody talks about some random nature in here, talks about 7-star crossbones, and that it's overpowered. Look, as far as this, Red Stars aren't all they're made out to be, I agree and I disagree. Part of the reason that I have to agree is because of an arena video that I did yesterday, where I went up against the team. Now, granted, this is the problem I have with FoxNext argument, but I'm going to make it anyway, is that I went up against an arena opponent that was almost per at least the image on screen. We later found out from the person I went against that team might not actually be that strong. so there might be some type of visual or text bug in the game. But from what I saw when I was playing it, it was 90 to 100K higher than my team. And you can go look in that. It was just a day or so ago. And I think I had one Red Star character, or one character who was 2 Red Stars, and it was Mystique. And I had the Brotherhood with Venom. And I was going against a heavy Avengers team of Captain America, Vision, Black Widow, Iron Man, and I want to say Quake. Vision had 5 Red Stars. Captain America had 5 Red Stars. Black Widow had 3 or 4. Quake, I think, had 4. And Iron Man didn't have any. And I thought I was going to get smoked. And I didn't. I won. And I was like, oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. So I guess there's 2 things here. One, that players, and I didn't play it perfectly either. I could have played it much better. There's a couple moves I made that I just was kind of boneheaded. FoxNext point where player skill can make up for 20% there. I was like, well, must be, some player skill / strategy and an overpowered, synergy team like the Brotherhood can make up for almost, 100K worth of power. So, I don't know. And the part I have a problem with that argument is that you're using examples of overpowered teams in the game. Teams that are not, to use Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. as an argument against a, not even, in my opinion, great tech team that's got Drax on it is silly. I don't know. I mean, that's actually almost my identical team for my, except for the Red Stars, as my arena defense, except for I have Spider-Man. And I know that might sound weird, but it seems to work decently. And on offense, depending on the matchups, I'll put Black Widow in. I would never use Drax in a million years. I don't think most other people would. I don't understand why they have Drax in that at all. So I think that's a kind of a terrible example. Plus, the tech teams are not, they're okay against Fury Shield, but I've been running a tech team in Arena for months. And that Fury team is, 20 plus K higher. There was almost no way I could beat them unless I had really good RNG. So I don't love that example, just like I don't love the example that I used with the Brotherhood to beat, a heavy Red Star team. But given the fact that it was 100K, it was like, or close to it, somewhere upwards in that range. Like, all right, maybe these things aren't insurmountable. So I have to, bring that up. I'd be kidding myself and not true to, the information in front of myself if I didn't. So they talk about accessibility here. One of the things that, to me, that I kind of got a problem with is accessibility. But they did say they're going to have more of them. We'll see. Look, I am a crazy blitz player. I think I've got 7,900 wins since late May. It's a lot. I set timers. As much as I love doing blitz, I'm burning out on it. 3 blitzes in a weekend is crazy, especially every 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God, stop. It's just, I really kind of, I don't know. If I can't help but think if I'm burning out on blitz, that 90+% of the people are burning out on blitz. It's just, I just don't know how else they could be doing it if I'm burning out. So anyway, let's see. So that's kind of that part. This Red Star, or the Elite Red Stars, this is actually something I do like about this. The fact if you've got if you duplicate here on a 7-star, you get 2.5 Elite Orbs. I gotta congratulate FoxNext on that, because that would be these up here would be infuriating to get duplicates of, but they give you another Elite Orb if that's the case. Perfect. And actually they'll give you 2 if it's a 7-star. I'm not going to complain about that. I actually think that was a great decision to keep people from being too upset about getting duplicates. So mission content, look, this is part of my concern, is that as the new raids, and I'm not so much worried about PvE, but I take that back. Campaigns, if I got more power, great. But the part I'm a lot worried about is in raids, when you've got these trait specific nodes and then needing Red Stars to pass them. That is just, it's going to take a while, and I'm going to address the take a while part here in a little bit. So I don't know. I feel like they're missing kind of the point here a little bit, and that I love the idea that we're going to have stronger characters. They push through content, but there are going to be red stars in upcoming content. So unless I have red stars on my characters, what am I going to do? I'm stuck. Red stars and blitz. Yes, they gave us. Oh no, that's just kind of how there were some bugs. They addressed it. Appreciate it. Thank you. So a few things. Like I said, a lot of the other content creators have kind of already, made their videos. I don't want to try to duplicate too much here because, the information's out there, their opinions are out there, and I'll get to my opinion towards the end of this. But I will say that most seem to be disappointed in FoxNext response. I definitely do fall in that boat. I was hoping to have a little bit more of a dialogue with them, not just this is what it is, we'll give you more, we will fix something, but guys, we're kind of right about this. Look, it's not that big a deal. And I'm like, ugh, really, guys? Like, oh my God, do we have to put up graphs, charts, like data? And the truth is only FoxNext has the data to really, do this, unless all of us somehow pool and study and document all of these different battles. It's kind of hard to do. So I don't know. I didn't really love that response. I know there was at least one content creator who quit. I'm sure there's many in the community who quit. I know there's plenty of people in our alliance who are talking about it, some who have. I'm sure that you guys have that same situation happening, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who are also love it. So I don't know. I mean, it's I think that as people quit, and, a lot of people are actually talking about, what else is out there as far as games, what to cover, what to play, do they really want to invest in this? I don't know. So one of the things, I'm just going to kind of flip through here. I'm going to jump to a couple of things on Reddit. This Valley used this in his kind of review of the Red Star blog. And he mentioned that this specific poster did not want to necessarily have their name brought up or anything like that or linked, so I'm going to respect that as well. But I will say that this type of, this review was, I thought, really solid, just kind of where they went point by point saying, like, really, FoxNext? Like, is this really what you guys are, think of as it? This mentions the whole Fury team, and I don't know. I just thought this was a really good analysis, and if you haven't seen it, try to find it on Reddit. It's again, I'm not going to say the user's name out of respect for what they're looking for there, but it was a really good breakdown, and I'm sure this is not getting looked at, which is unfortunate. On kind of more of a comical side, this was a different aspect of what someone said. Where they were kind of saying, FoxNext. This is FoxNext saying, what do you think about red stars, adding red stars to the game? Community says, we think it's too soon. It seems too much like play to win. And then FoxNext, what if it's random? And we say it's worse. And it just goes through here, random and overpowered. It basically just shows, it's like, guys, we're trying to tell a community, or the community is trying to tell FoxNext, look, this is not a great idea. And FoxNext, how they ended up implementing them, just got worse and worse and worse. And it was kind of like, okay, and FoxNext, yeah, it's balanced, perfect. We totally test it. And there's the joke about the 7-star Ultron. I think Mobile Gamer might even brought this up in his video as well. It's just, it's a good summation of kind of how the community feels. The way that, I mean, this part right here really does wrap up or kind of summarize where a lot of the community feels that this interaction went back and forth. So, just kind of for anybody from FoxNext you're out there, that is a good summation for how the group feels. And by the way, if you hear any children screaming or anything like that, we are having a mini little play date. So apologize for children screaming a lot. So this part I did want to bring up because look, as much as I'm a math guy and a spreadsheets guy, the part that I am not in tune with is this graph and the numbers and likelihood and statistics behind the chances of things. This poster went ahead and put together this really, really nice graph. And I'll give him a shout out, Batman. I've seen him around on the MPO Discord, which I'll get to in a minute. Seems to be a really bright individual and talked about the chances of how long it would take to get certain characters in for red stars. And and the part I want to focus on here is this paragraph here. And he talks about, let's say you want a specific character, Spider-Man, to get red stars. At 100 red star orb pulls, these are the chances that you have to get the different number of red stars. So after 100 red star orb pulls, you've got a 70% chance to get 1 star. Okay, it's not too bad. It's actually really good, but nobody cares about 1 star because it's minimal. 2 stars, 60%. You know, obviously it goes down, and as you move up these stars, the chances get lower. And this is the part, to me, it's like, what are the red stars that you really care about and want? Well, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's look at this. So 1, 70%, 2 red stars, 60%, 3 red stars. Now that's cut in half. That's 30%. Whoa, 4 red stars, only 11%. 1 more star up, drops down to under 2%. And then the top 2, 0.4% and 0.1%. That is like the chances to do that after 100 red star orb pulls. Now, I get that that's the point of this loot box system, that it's, you know, you're supposed to have these chances, but it's like this percentage right here. I mean, I guess I get it if it's a 75% increase in stats, but that's I think a problem with the red stars, which I don't know if I end up getting into that or not, but you know, and he's got a little table here, and he's got some important points. Let's see what he's saying. Important points for each character. It's talking about the chances that you got. The part that I want to kind of show here is this graph that he kind of made, where it just kind of shows. It's just, you know, the chances that you've got after a certain number of pulls to get, you know, those specific. I mean, it's at 1,000. I mean, look at that 7-star line. I mean, it doesn't even. I'm not even sure that gets to 1%. You know, and that's what I think. It's 1,000 pulls. So look. I think there's some probability statistic, whatever. I mean, someone smarter than me did this. I think that seems way. I mean, look at how that drops. You know, these are all way up here, and it just boom. These are close, and boom, boom, and then just plummets. And these are the 3 that everybody wants. Is right here, and it's way. I mean, anyway. So. Batman, if you're out there, thank you for doing this. I hope this somehow gets to FoxNext and they see it and say, you know what, maybe we do have a little bit of a probability issue here. Maybe they don't. I don't know. So the next part that kind of came up, I think, and this is FoxNext's own doing here, is this tweet. Top 10 and why. That's all it says right here. Was it yesterday? And this is the picture, if you couldn't see it on the small. It's got a 7-star Deadpool at 62K. I don't know what that is, probably T11, 12, probably T12. And then all these little like 100s, you know, just like nonsense characters. So it's clearly like a fake made thing. And it seems like FoxNext is trolling the community a little bit with this. Which, it's just like, wow. Okay. I guess that's cool if that's what you want to do. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some misinterpretation of their intent here. I don't know. I think with the temperature of things, I didn't understand it. Don't know why they did it, but, you know, whatever. So one of the other last things I want to address as far as community reaction, unfortunately, you can see here is the MPO, Marvel Strike Force Players Organization, that's run by some really, really great individuals and gamers in this, or who are involved in this community. They're not shutting down or anything like that, and I'm not going to put words in their mouth, so I apologize to you guys if I do, you know, misinterpret here a little bit, but they basically hit a wall with FoxNext to an extent, so it's not like the site's getting shut down or the Discord's getting shut down or anything like that, but it got to the point where it seemed like the MPO, I mean, and look, the MPO was doing fantastic work for free to help FoxNext understand the community's, you know, problems, issues, what they thought, all kinds of stuff. I mean, if I had somebody come up to me and say, "Hey, look, I love your business. Everything you're doing in your business is great. I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to poll everybody. I'm going to get surveys of all this information. I'm going to give it to you to help you make your thing better. Do you want that information?" And I'm going to go, "For how much?" "For free." Wait, so you're going to give me information that can help me make whatever it is I'm doing better, and it's going to be free? Yes. Okay. You know what? I think I probably keep those people around and try to at least, even if I'm not listening to them, if I'm not making any of the changes, I am going to make sure that I am doing everything I can to make sure that they at least feel heard. So I think this is kind of tragic a little bit. I hope that the MPO, can kind of find a way to, niche themselves and still, make the community a good place. They've done a fantastic job again. But I'm just showing kind of the after effects here of this decision, and I just think it's, personally, I think it's, I don't know. I guess this kind of leads me to my next point is that I'm disappointed, and FoxNext isn't my wife. It's not my sibling. It's not my mother or father. So do they care? No, they don't care. At least I assume they don't care. I don't know them. But I'd like to think as any business company or any business entity that maybe they care a little bit. But ultimately, these businesses are about the bottom line, and I do not fault them for that. They should make the best business decisions for their company. God only knows I'm not making their money. You know what I mean? So, you know what? If they're doing well, okay. That's, and I can't blame them for that. They've got to make the decisions that work for them, that will hopefully make, in their minds, them the most money. And I'm sure that's the decisions that they're making. So, I'm just, it's tough for me to kind of, I'm bringing back up my game here. So it's actually hilarious as I see this. I didn't notice this earlier, but shout out to Air Server. Obviously, that's how I'm mirroring these things. Notice the chat at the bottom of my Alliance chant there. I get it. If I wasn't in a cool alliance, I'd already be gone. Hate Red Star, and who knows what else he says there. This is a guy I've been playing with for a while. He's a great player. He's been around since, I don't know if beta, but definitely launch. Smart player, into theory crafting, loves looking at speed and just kind of how to make a team better. And just he's a good overall, alliance mate and player, and I'm glad he's around. But it's just funny that that's literally what's there. So anyway, to my specific comments and what I'm doing and all that kind of thing. I am disappointed. I said that. I do want to mention, and I think the biggest disappointment that I've got in this is that the lack of addressing the gambling aspect of this. In the collaboration video that we did, we talked about that, some people call them predatory measures of this gambling, and, children are playing this game and all those type of things. That's not addressed necessarily, and I'm not surprised, because I'm sure there would be legal ramifications of that, so I'm sure that would have to stay out of there. But I am a little disappointed that there wasn't something that they could say kind of in a roundabout way that they could address that, or say, hey, look, we hear you. We're not trying to get people addicted to gambling or take advantage of people in their, in their addictive tendencies. And I want to give a shout out. And look, Mobile Gamer doesn't know me. I don't know him. But I watched his video today, and I just think that him coming out to say what he did about kind of some of the experience in his life and kind of how he's overcome that. I just want to give him props, a huge shout out. That takes a massive amount of courage to go through that, and I think that's. I don't know. I want to applaud him, really. I just think that was fantastic that he talked about that. And I agree with him that, I feel what he's talking about. When I get these orbs, when I open them, you feel this rush of dopamine coming over your body. And it's just like, oh, this feels so good. I want to do it again. I want to do it again. And I want to do it again. And that's kind of why you see those stats, I think, the way they are. Because when you get that, you want to do it again, and you will pay for it. I already mentioned the currently thing earlier. I was, a little bit disappointed they didn't get more in depth than that. But anyway, that was my biggest disappointment, was the gambling thing. The next biggest thing is just kind of the lack of addressing the power curve. I know they claim that, if with the proper synergies and all that kind of thing, that, you really can just beat a Red Star team. And like I said, I mentioned that in my arena video. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's I found a way to do it with a broke team, but still, I think 6 and 7 stars still feel a little bit too strong for me. Let's see what else. I mentioned the physics graph earlier. That I call it the physics graph, but it's, stats just, and likelihood to get those pulls. It seems a bit out of whack to me. What this is actually doing for me in game is this is going to cause me to leave all my characters, if I haven't already brought them there, tier 9, except for maybe people for arena. I'll probably still try to build them up, but anything, I wouldn't bring them higher than that because of the grind that it takes to build them higher, unless I got red stars. So it's just like, I'm going to start racking up on gold, on mats, and all these things, because I'm not going to level anybody up, because it's too much. So we'll see if that takes, if a lot of people end up going that route with that. I don't know. I'm redoing my priority list here, and I think that ultimately that's exactly what I'll end up doing with my priorities. So, and with all these things in the game, right now that are kind of the, I'll call them bottlenecks. There's gold, there's T4 mats, advanced basic catalysts, now red stars, 2-hour blitz. There's all these grindy things that are just, I don't know. It just feels very just like, oh my God, give me a break for a second. But I don't know. So now, having said that, I've gotten a lot of complaining, upset about. This is one thing that I do want to say. There are things I like about red stars. It's not a lot, but there is something. And that's more power. Who doesn't want more power, right? We can get through content easier, depending how they tune it, of course. But it gives you the ability just to kind of smash some things. And sometimes that's fun. You just want to smash stuff. So thank you, FoxNext, for that. And then there's also, it is one additional way to fine-tune your roster. I like that. I do like some additional fine-tuning, theory crafting, all that. So I will say that, I do like those specific things. So the thing that I want to kind of do at this point is kind of let everybody know what my plan is with this. Valley said it in his video, and I'm going to echo it. I like this game. I like playing it. I'm going to continue to play it, at least for as long as it's around. I think it should be. I know there's a lot of discussion about and Valley. By the way, if you haven't seen Valley Flying's videos for, the FoxNext and Disney merge, buyout, all that kind of stuff. Well, it's not a merge, it's a buyout, but check him out. He did some really good research. He's got a couple videos out on him. You got to check him out. He's done his research really well here. Mobile Gamer had some as well, so check out those 3 videos, and I think you guys will kind of be brought up to speed on everything you need to know. Anyway, back to me. I like the game. I'm going to continue playing. I will say that I am going to be as close to free-to-play, if not free-to-play, as I had ever been in this game. If I do decide to purchase something, it's likely going to be only for content creation. I'm not, for instance, let's just check something else. So, actually, hold on one second. This 7-star, city event, what's it called? Block Party, I think exactly. Yeah, Block Party. So this is where I'm at with it. So I've got the ability to 6-star this, assuming my team can beat it. I'll probably have to upgrade Luke Cage and Daredevil, so I'll have to probably spend some stuff there. But this one, this tier 7, that would be fantastic to get these T4 ability mats. So yeah, I very much care for that. You can see I've only got Spider-Man. I'm very capable. I've got the stars for Luke Cage, and I'm farming Daredevil and then Night Nurse. But Miss Marvel is the point I want to bring up here. Is I'm 1 star away from getting her to 7 stars. And what do you know pops up today? What do you know? This offer right here. $30 for, a few purple mats or just whatever. Those are barely enough to probably get 1 upgrade. And then, 1 gold orb, which will probably be about 1 to 200k, which is okay. But 55 orbs, or shards. So, those could get me well on my way to, almost 7-star her. And I'm not going to touch that offer. Before, I probably would have, and even some of these Kree minions, I probably would have bought these because I want to get Nick Fury, and I just didn't want to farm him. Really. I think I'm going to go for more free to play unless I want to get something for content creation. So that's kind of my approach to how I'm altering my course due to, what FoxNext is doing, because I do want to play, but I am also not going to allow myself to feel that endorphin rush where I continue to spend dopamine. Some chemist or biology major out there can fill me in on what the exact, proper terminology and scientific way to say that is. But I can't do it. You know what I mean? I can't spend that on this right now. So that's my plan. I'm not telling you to do that. I don't have a problem if anybody does it. Spend your money. Go buy stuff. It's a fun game. If you want to spend money on it, spend money on it. And you know what? I want people to spend money on it because I like the game. I want to keep playing it. And FoxNext needs to make money. So to end this video, that is one of the things I want to talk about real quick, is solutions. And Valley kind of touched on this a little bit, I think, in his video, where it was like we could have brought up some potential solutions in our collab video. No, I think we'd probably need a whole nother collab video, to be honest with you. That's another, it'd have to be 10 to 15, maybe even, shoot, we could probably talk for hours. Maybe that's what we're going to have to do, is do a collaboration where we're just brainstorming. So Valley and Tony and Tuna and, Chu and Dorian, all you guys, if you guys are just, maybe that's what we do. We just get on and just talk and let people listen to us, but then see what they think, and maybe they can chime in and say, and when together we can have almost like a town hall meeting. So anyway, but solutions. I was talking about solutions. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it popped in my head. Burger King Blitz. Give me my Burger King Blitz. Blitz brought to you by Burger King. I want it. Just throw me a little, Burger King hat on this Jessica Jones. Burger King right there. NBA's doing it. God knows NASCAR's doing it. I got no problem with it. Put an ad up somewhere. Put an ad up, I don't know, that pops up somewhere. I give people the opportunity to, purchase the game, without ads. It's $3 to buy the game without ads. Okay, and that's money. I don't love it, but you know what? I do love the game. And I want to see the game continue. And if there's ways that FoxNext can get money from advertisers, no problem. No problem. You guys, as long as it doesn't break the integrity of the game and make the game feel choppy, I love that, Alpha Ray. Let's see, what's another good one? I was just Whole Foods. Whole Foods not be a brewer, but the Alpha Raid brought to you by Audi. And they might not advertise in a Marvel game, but it looks like it's time to get back to Blitz here. But yeah, why not some ads? So anyway, I'll end the video at that. Like I said, hopefully, I know there's still people out there looking to make a difference in this and, want FoxNext to listen. I'm not giving up on, this movement per se, but I will say that I'm looking to continue to play. And if I'm talking, into an empty cave and it's just my voice echoing back at me, I won't pound my head against the wall nonstop just to watch myself bleed. So having said that, thank you all for listening. I hope that my stance is kind of in alignment with yours. If not, that's okay. And I'd love to hear where you guys are at with everything. If you think that FoxNext really does wrong, or you're just moving on just like me and continuing to play. I'd love to hear it. And having said that, I'm going to get back to my normal content creation and just try to get some more videos out there, some more discussion, those priority lists and all those kind of things that people say they want to see more of. And as always, if you like what you're seeing, please click that subscribe button as well as that hammer that like button, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thanks.